Hey, this is Steve Tulipana. The singer in Season to Risk, and we've got a new album, a new song, a new single on a new collection of music coming out called 1-800 Meltdown on Record Store Day. We're really excited
Fan-
about it. First new
Fantastic.
material
Yeah,
in a long
sorry.
time.
Thanks for joining us today, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So, as you say, Season to Risk release a compilation of sorts called 1-800 Meltdown on April the 12th. So, it's not too far away, bro. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm feeling great about it. It's like, it includes one of the first song, first original recording we've done in quite some time. So we're very excited about how it came out, and yeah, it's pretty exciting to be doing this after quite a bit of time off.
Yeah. So, is it basically just like a retrospective of Season to Risk's career from inception to now, is it?
No, not really. It's actually a lot of material that was only either was non-released, was or was released on 7 inches. Um, so that's the bulk of the album is what that is. Things that are pretty obscure and hard to find in our collection, and then two songs that have been one that's brand new and one that uh, was recorded in this century.
That's a good start. It's actually a pretty bold move, mate, because you haven't had anything out for quite a while. So normally a band would sort of come back with the best of because they know it's going to hit the mark with fans, like something like what you're doing with some rarities and some sort of long lost songs. Like they're not quite as mainstream accepted, I guess, which is why they're rarities. So it's a very bold decision to come back with that, mate. I applaud it.
I think we always wanted to we never really cared too much about being mainstream. We always wanted to be a little more experimental and really wanted to show people that side of what we're doing because it's informing some of the stuff that we are currently working on. So I
Okay.
think that's kind of why we were wanted to get it out. We have been reissuing our old records on vinyl and remastered here in the States over the last few years. So that's kind of a lead up to that.
Okay. And you mentioned like experimenting, like you are a band who's experimented a lot with your sound over the years. So collating all these songs together, was it difficult to sort of put them in order on the album so that had a cohesive flow to them, I guess, because they're all so different?
Yeah, we actually released a version of this on cassette only about a year and a half ago for a little tour we did to Texas and back. And so we put it's actually a longer version of it on just a cassette only because that it just, I don't know, we're just being weird, I guess. And this is kind of the condensed version with the new material. And yeah, I think that's really about all I got to say on
Yeah.
that.
So one of the songs on there is called Undone, and it was from your scene in the 1994 movie Strange Days that was considered too noisy for the soundtrack. Like, this is a story I've got to hear.
Yeah. That story is really strange. We were recording our second record. We were living in New York City with at Martin BC's studio, recording that second record for Columbia Records at the time. And it's kind of I don't know how much time I have, but
Much as you want, buddy.
okay. Because it can get sometimes these stories I will tell and I gotta go.
We want the
Uh,
full picture.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The For that film, I don't know if you're familiar with it. Juliette Lewis has a band in the film, and she's recording, she's performing these PJ Harvey songs. Well, she had been working in the studio in Los Angeles at the time, and the music director for the film, was chatting up a mutual friend of ours that worked in the studio, and he was just saying he was looking for another artist that he wanted something very apocalyptic. And she said, "Oh, I got the perfect band. They're in the studio right now." Shared some of the record that we were working on for that in a perfect world record. In turn, they said, "Well, we want an original song." So we wrote something specific for it. They accepted it, signed the contract. In the middle of recording over there, they flew us out to California. We spent 2 weeks on set, and we appear in the film. Um, but the song did never get released. It didn't get added to the soundtrack because they wanted something apocalyptic, and we delivered it. It's brutal, probably one of the most brutal things we've ever written, to be honest. Yeah, so it gets to see the light of the day now. So
What did they think it was too brutal, or what's the reason for not using it?
I assume they had, I mean, the soundtrack had quite a few acts on it, and I think it just was too brutal.
So they kept you in the movie, but not your music.
The music is in the film.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's just not on the released soundtrack, the
Oh,
CD, So the
that's pretty
music is
cool, eh?
actually,
That's
yeah.
pretty
And
cool.
they looped the film. The song was only 2.5 minutes long, and our scene ended up being longer, so they looped it. It's almost twice as long, but it was a
That's
trip.
so cool. And
Yeah.
am I correct in saying that over the course of 1-800 Meltdown, every past and present member of Season to Risk appears on at least one track?
I I think everyone that actually recorded something with us. We
Yeah,
had a few cats in there that never got a chance to record with us, but we've had quite a few members over the years.
I saw that. So did you actually set out to do that, to cover everybody that's recorded with you on the album, or did you just work out that way?
I think it just worked out that way. I didn't even realize it until you mentioned it. So that's cool. That makes me kind of happy because I don't have ill will of any. We never had any bad drama in the band. It just kind of circumstances why people left and came and
Happens.
changed. Yeah.
Well, you've spoken a few times about the new song on the album, which is called Echo Chamber. It's your first new music in 25 years, mate. Like, that's a quarter of a century. Like,
Yeah.
tell us about the song.
Uh, the song we have been over the last year, we're kind of spread out across the states. We don't all live here. And our guitar player has a killer studio, and he that's what he does for a living, is record bands. And um we would get together to go do shows in the region, or go, we always never fully stopped. We would just get together and do stuff, but we go into the studio and just kind of jam stuff. And this particular one kind of stuck out to us as something that had potential. So we kept working on it remotely and adding to it. And lyric, in the States, we've gone through some weird political stuff lately, and as the world knows. And a lot of what I've always written about in some of our other records is about technology and kind of futurism stuff, little science fiction thrown in there. Literature and film have always informed me, but also what's currently happening in the world. And the echo chamber concept is, kind of just about how social media has kind of damaged us as a society, and not just our country. I mean, um, humanity to some degree, and the manipulation of it, and how we don't really have the best view of what is going on in our world, because we are kind of trapped in our little echo chambers and our kind of self-affirming, loops, you know. That's really what I was trying to express in that, and kind of really more no, I let people put their own interpretation of things, let things speak to them how they will. I don't like to beat people over the head, but I, I have my opinions, but I think the idea is to reflect on it and figure out how to maybe make the world a little better eventually.
Nice. And there's doing that song reignited the flame, I guess, to keep writing more new material?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
we probably have about we have probably close to a full album worth of um, music, and it needs to be honed and defined. We need to find the time to get into the studio and do it, and that's really what we want to get this thing out, and we're doing some dates here in the States in April to support that, and then we're looking at some options. We never got to go overseas for any of the uh, in the past, and the records, the Columbia records, are being reissued. I can't say what label yet, but they will be reissued, remastered. They are remastered, and they'll be reissued in the next over the next 12 months. So,
Right.
and we're hoping to see the light of day and push us to do more.
Nice. And with the new music, like what direction has it taken? Like as we said before, you've done a lot of experimenting in your time as a band, but you've had 25 years without writing new material together. So you've obviously probably gone in different directions again since you last wrote together. So this new material, what shape has it taken?
I think well, Billy Smith, who's the bass player, and the other second guitar player, Wade Williamson, and we've done a project together, several different projects over the years. Dwayne and I are still very close, and his side projects we've toured together, and we all still kind of I think my live in the same mindset, and the same kind of influences are still kind of around, and we all still work in the music world, so we're always constantly sharing, stuff. And I think the Echo Chamber and the newer stuff, it is, it really is a continuation of what we did on the Shattering that came out in 2001. And that record, I think in my mind, was a bit ahead of its time. Came out at a very weird time between CD and streaming hadn't really started yet, and it was just kind of starting. And again, it was we worked with Bill Stevenson from the Descendants on that record, and at his studio, and I think they just really nailed the sound, and I think it's a continuation of that. It just happened to take a long time as I look at my yeah.
There you go. Before we let you go, Steve, I got a new segment I've introduced called Photo Bomb. So basically, before we speak, I've gone through and trolled your social media. I've come up with some photos that I want to know a bit more about.
Oh
So
shit.
we'll start with this one. Like, what happened here? Did the radiator spring and leak or something?
Yeah. So that is Dwayne, and we had a recording studio on the west side of town, and the that was right behind it, and it flooded. It went about another 3 feet higher than that. He was there. He just did that snapshot, but it was kind of tragic, and we lost our whole recording studio. We lost our master tapes.
Oh no.
Um, it was pretty tragic, but yeah, you kind of have to take a little clown when you're dealing with that kind of shit.
Yeah. I'm taking it he didn't drive it out of there then.
Yeah, that wasn't even his car. It was just a car
Oh.
across the street. Yeah.
Very cool. And then I found this one. Like, I want to know, how did you get up here? And more importantly, how did you get down?
Oh, yeah. That I was. I'm not as spry as I used to be, so I don't know if that will be happening on this new tour. But I used to always climb all over shit. I don't know. I think I was just pure adrenaline and alcohol usually, and I think I came down by probably just fell on some people's faces. I don't know.
Did it ever go, like Benny saying he used to climb on stuff, did it ever go pear-shaped? Did you ever fall off or?
I had some tragic fails. Yeah, I wiped out. This was just a few years ago. We were in Texas for the No Coast Music Fest, and I thought there was a wall behind the curtain, and there was not. And I totally just took out the whole fucking guitar rig, and it was pretty I don't know. I kind of lose myself when this shit starts pummeling and I just kind of go a little ape shit, and sometimes it doesn't turn
Well, it
out the way
doesn't pan
I
out.
plan it.
Oh, shit. All right, Steve. Well, thanks very much for your time, mate. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. 1-800 Meltdown from Season to Risk is out April 12. The boys are headed out across the States for a bit of a tour, and I'm pretty sure we're going to hear more stuff from you in the near future.
Well, yeah. Thanks for having me on, Kris.